Hi Nearlyweds, I'm Susan Sutherland, president of Just Marry. Today we're going to talk about the 4 phases to planning your wedding. By the time this video is over, you're going to have a pretty good roadmap as to how to plan your wedding. You will know what order you should do each step of your planning, you'll be more efficient, and you'll stay on budget. The best part is, by following my instructions, you'll be less stressed. You may actually enjoy the planning process. Now please note, this video has a lot of information, but I'm going to break things down in detail in future videos. Oh, and if you stay tuned until the end, I'm going to give you my #1 secret to getting your wedding plans started on the right foot, so be sure to hang in there for that. Let's start with the first phase. The first phase is the analyzing phase. This is when you lay the foundation for the boring business part of planning your wedding. First, think about your overall budget. You and your spouse-to-be must decide what is the top end of your budget. Your goal, of course, is to spend less, but you need a top end so you can estimate how much you'll be spending on each aspect of your wedding. In a future video, I'm going to show you how to create and follow a budget for your wedding, so be sure to look for that soon. For now, just decide how much overall you want to spend. Second, create your guest list. Think about this. The biggest expense for your wedding is going to be your food and beverage. It is also the most fluid expense. Now, what do I mean by that? Let's say that you invite 100 people and your food and beverage cost is $100 per person. That means you would spend $10,000 on food and beverage. Now, if you only have $5,000 to spend, you have 2 options. Go to a venue or caterer where the food and beverage is $50 per person, or you can invite 50 fewer people. You want that information prior to signing any contracts or having any great vision of what your wedding's going to look like so you don't overspend and you don't get disappointed. In a video coming soon, I'm going to show you my secret to creating a useful guest list that will organize you way beyond just having names and addresses in one place. A few other thoughts. Open a wedding bank account and/or credit card. This will make tracking your expenses easier, and if you have anyone contributing to your wedding, they can easily make deposits so you don't have to run to them every time you need to make a purchase. Also, it will help keep you brutally honest with your budget, because when that account runs out of money, you won't be able to spend anymore. Also consider creating a wedding email address. You will likely get inundated with information and offers during your planning process. This email address will make sure your regular work email or your personal email address don't get clogged up. And if you want to take a break from your wedding planning, just ignore that account for a couple of days. Phase 2 is the discovering phase. To me, this is the most fun. You can dream about anything and everything you want. You can do this by searching the internet, going to bridal shows, and making vision boards. Make sure to keep all of your ideas organized and use applications like Pinterest and Evernote. And I'll show you just how I do that in an upcoming video. Phase 3 is the shopping phase. In this phase, you do exactly what it sounds like you do. You're going to purchase your items and services for your wedding. You're going to interview vendors, negotiate contracts, sign contracts, try on dresses, buy flowers, and don't forget, you're going to want to review your budget every step of the way to make sure you stay on track. You're going to need to refer to your contracts during the next phase, so you want to keep them handy. The 4th and final phase is the organizing phase. If you have 6 months or more to plan, this phase will be in the last 60 to 90 days. If you're planning closer in, you'll want to do this part as early as possible. At this point, you want to review everything you contracted. Make sure that your venue and vendors have the correct start and end times, and that you have all the services that you want. At least 2 weeks out, you will need to finalize your guest count and give that information to your venue, caterer, and decorator so they can finalize your order. You'll be making final payments at this time as well. A very important task during this phase is your final agenda. You want to organize everything on the wedding day, from when your vendors set up and start to when your wedding party is taking photos. You'll want to know when dances are happening and when the party is over. Look for my tips for planning your agenda in an upcoming video. So there you have it, your roadmap to planning your own wedding. I know it's a lot of information, but don't worry, I'll break all of this down for you in detail. But now you know what to do during the analyzing phase, discovery phase, shopping phase, and the organizing phase. You can break your wedding planning process into these 4 easy to manage steps. Oh, I have one more tip for you. My secret to planning a good budget is setting your priorities. During the analyzing phase, prioritize all of your wedding expenses. Maintaining a good budget is a balancing act. If you overspend, you need to know where you can take money from in order to get you back in balance. Otherwise, you'll find yourself spending way more than you wanted to. For example, if the most important thing to you is to have the best photographer in town, you may have to spend less on your flowers. If your flowers are the most important thing for you, you may want to invite fewer guests so your food and beverage bill is less. Below, you will see a link to where you can download my Wedding Budget Priority Worksheet. It's a list of every expense my clients have ever paid for their weddings, and it will help you brainstorm about what you want to include in your budget. If you like this video, hit the like button below, share it with your friends, and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.